Before we start the show, there are spoilers for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, Ghost World, 500 Days of Summer, The Wedding Singer, The Shining, and Airheads. That being said, enjoy the show. Welcome to Best Most. I'm your host, Jose Jogo Gonzalez. This is the podcast where we ask the questions, what is the best or what is the most? For example, we ask questions like, what are the most realistic special effects in a film? Or what is the best song that teaches a lesson? Before each episode, I ask our online community a question that our guests had chosen as our topic. I then go over the community answers with our guests, and we also discuss our own answers. You can check out and answer the questions on the best.most.pod Instagram page. Join the conversation. Today's guest was a host for Diversified Arts, which created a community and source for bands and music lovers. She's a lover of music and spooky stuff. I would like to welcome Christina, aka RocknRollTina. Hello.
Hey, what's up? Oh my God, I love that intro.
Heck yeah. I worked on it for a long time. Not really, but I mean, I'm glad you like it.
You know me, so I bet you knew what to write at least, right?
Somewhat. You gave me some ideas, full transparency, but I added a few things. So today we answer the question, what is the best movie to show someone to understand your personality? Our guest chooses the question for each episode. RocknRollTina, what made you choose this one?
So the reason why I chose this question is because I feel like everybody knows me as the music lover. I don't speak about movies that much, and I'm just I have to go with this question because I am pretty much kind of a movie buff. I love all kinds of movies, from comedy, old stuff, horror movies, all of it. I'm always watching movies, so I really wanted to dig into this question. No one really asks me this. It's always about what's your favorite album, favorite artist or something. But finally, a movie question, I'm totally down.
The way we're going to do it this time is we're going to go back and forth on our community answers. Ladies first. Go ahead, Christina.
All right. Community answer, the first one, because you texted me about it and I was just laughing. My boyfriend Memo actually answered it. It was Kung Pao, Enter the Fist, which is hilarious because that was one of my dad's favorite movies growing up. I'd watch all the time, being like, this is such a cheesy movie. It's so stupid. Love it. And when I met him, he was like, I'm going to tell you my favorite movie. And I'm like, okay, go. What is it? He pulls out that DVD and I'm just like, no way, full circle. Love it. And he had no idea that I've seen it because he brings it up to a lot of people and everyone's like, what? Who? Never heard of it. I'm like, oh my God, lost generation for that movie, honestly.
Yeah, classic. It kind of takes me back to when I lived with my buddy Phil, and my friend Phil and I, we were just huge fans of that movie. It's just one of those movies that is so ridiculous and super quotable, and yeah, especially that wee.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Every time. We haven't watched it together yet. And I'm like, when are we going to do it? But when he told me about it, I was like, that's hilarious. I had a feeling he was going to answer the question. I was like, I wonder if he's going to answer you or mine, but that's hilarious that he did that.
Great answer. So my wife, she answered super bad. And her reason was because I'm immature. She's immature. That's what she said. I love that movie because one of my cousins, when I was younger, he would always say, he's like, oh man, that Michael Cera guy, he's you. He's pretty much you in high school. I used to always have a little zip-up hoodie and just kind of be super awkward and nerdy, but not quite the nerds, but not quite the cool guys.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I love Superbad. I remember when that movie came out, it was my brothers went to go watch it. Everybody went to go see it. It was around almost the same time Juno was coming out too. So Michael Cera was kind of blowing up during that time. It's really hilarious though, because I live in Burbank now and the liquor store scene is filmed in Burbank. Every time we drive by, we see it, and they have the McLovin ID outside the liquor store. They have the whole bus stop and everything. Yeah, I know. I love it.
What else you got?
So another one we got is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by my friend Frankie.
Oof.
Yeah.
Good choice.
That was a long one in the theaters. I sat through the whole thing, but I had to watch it.
Yeah, I think I've seen it twice, and I don't know, like Leonardo DiCaprio's performance in that is probably one of my favorite of his, just because he seemed more like a vulnerable character.
Hmm.
There's a little twitch that he has throughout the whole movie that is very subtle, but I'm like, "Ah, that's genius. It's perfect."
I love this movie, but it's not one of my favorite, Quentin Tarantino movies. I have a bigger, better list of that, but I
Oh,
definitely went to go see it, the whole Sharon Tate thing, and it was pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of Hollywood, California, Los Angeles history in it, so I would definitely watch it if you love, the Sunset Strip, the '70s, '60s, and all that. I recommend, but it's a long one, but it's a pretty good one.
yeah, for sure. So Jason Chavez chose As Good as It Gets. To be honest, I had seen it when it came out in 1997, so I don't remember a lot of it. I just know Jack Nicholson plays like this guy who is kind of an asshole, but he starts to find other people that kind of get him a little bit, and they create kind of like a little community in a way. It's pretty cool.
I have to watch that one. Another one my sister picked was Crybaby. And that one I watched a lot growing up in our house because musical, the whole rock and roll rockabilly scene, Johnny Depp. I think that was the first time I thought, oh my God, I love that guy. He is handsome. Finally got a crush on him. I was like, this is the type of guys I'm going to fall in love with. It's such a good movie. It's just it's kinda just a cult classic for a lot of people.
Let's see, Veronica, my sister, she chose Eat, Pray, Love, starring Julia Roberts, Javier Bardem, Richard Jenkins, Viola Davis, and Billy Crudup. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I've seen that one either.
Me either.
We got some movies we have to watch. Okay,
Yeah.
my friend Nina picked a very, very good movie that I totally forgot about, but it's one of my favorites also. It's Airheads with Adam Sandler,
Mm.
Brendan Fraser, and then we have Steve Buscemi, who actually I love Steve Buscemi, like one of the greatest actors right there. But yeah, Airheads is literally so hilarious. It is just about rock and roll. Lemmy appears in it. There's just like again, sunset, LA, Hollywood, all that stuff. '80s. It's great. I love that movie.
Yeah, and that kinda seems like it would be something you could relate to as far as, like, I know it's like a radio station movie, right?
Yes.
So that's cool,
Never
that's
take the
cool.
radio station. Yeah. When I was in broadcasting school, I rewatched that movie and just like, just like, oh, that's so hilarious of a band trying to get their like tape, out there on the radio. So they hijack a radio station and they're
Yeah.
just like having free will and having fun. But it's funny because the disc jockey in the movie is like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're gonna do this. I don't even care. They all become friends. Adam Sandler, obviously, like little dummy in the movie and everything. But like, it's such a cool movie, and I recommend to a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people have seen it. Like when you say
Mhm.
Airheads, are like, who? What are you talking about? It's one of those like underrated comedy movies.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. So Cat Rider, she chose The Favorite, good movie, and also really good show too. Have you
Oh
ever
wow.
seen either
No,
one of
but your
them?
friends are picking someones that I really gotta watch.
Well, also, it's kind of funny looking at this, like everyone's pick that I know. I'm trying to really think about how that movie would kind of show me their personality.
Hmm.
Um, and it's pretty accurate. A lot of these are pretty accurate. I get it.
Yeah. Well, these are your friends, you know what I mean? So it's like you
Hmm.
understand why they pick these movies. Like my friends obviously picked like musical, raunchy, rock and roll movies because like they're all in my crowd, in my circle. So I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, I totally saw that movie. Seen that movie, like stupid movies too, like Kung Pao Enter the Fist. I'm pretty stupid sometimes too, a little nerd about that. So it's hilarious that my friends picked a lot of movies that I actually adored and love watching. The only one that I've never seen, but I've heard it's pretty sad and dramatic, is my sister picked a different one called Now and Then. I've seen clips of it everywhere, and I've never seen Now and Then. Something about the drain scene is really sad. Yeah, I heard it's dramatic. That's all I know about it.
John Estrada, his answer was probably Heat. And there's kind of a running gag with this. And he even said, I was going to answer with Heat, but refrained in case your listeners started to judge me because there's a few times that John had mentioned Heat and in earlier shows and episodes, and I still haven't seen it yet. And he was one of our guests on one of the episodes. And
Hmm.
I'm like, yeah, dude, still haven't seen Heat before, but
Oh my gosh.
but he says, let's see, the answer is probably Heat. I saw it in the theater when I was 13, thinking that it was going to be an action movie. I walked out realizing that it was way more than that. It wasn't until I would watch it over and over as I grew up that I realized it's more about the choices we make and how we live our lives and the consequences from them, with a focus on people that obsess over what they do.
Wow, he walked out even deeper. He walked out a man with a soul, you know? That's so hilarious. He was like, "Oh, it's gonna be about, like, action stuff, you know, explosives and carjacks or something, I don't know," and then he walked out like, "Wow, I'm a changed man."
Yeah, he's like, "One ticket, please." And he came out and he's like, "Oh my gosh, what's happening?"
Definitely. Puberty happened as soon as he walked out.
That's awesome. I wanna go see that movie now. What else do you got?
I think that's pretty much all my people.
Okay, I have one more, and then we'll go into our picks. Eddie, my brother, he chose The Big Lebowski. He said, "I would
Oh,
consider myself an oddball, laid back person. That's what I think when watching this movie." Great movie, great
love
movie,
that movie.
great pick.
Classic, classic. I watched that one when I was a teenager. It was, you
Okay,
know, on we had, like, Demand on TV, and late at night, I was like, "I should probably start watching some of these, like, critically acclaimed, nominated movies." At such a young age, right? I was, like, thinking about that already.
yeah.
Watched it, loved it. TV show is in it. Oh, done, sold.
And he kinda steals the every scene he's in without even trying at all.
Definitely. Definitely does. He is such an amazing actor. Like, I think I fell in love with him for the first time in Reservoir Dogs. Honestly, that's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not on
Yeah.
my list today. I could have picked so many movies, but Reservoir Dogs, wow, 100%. Loved it. Again, a movie I watched at a very ripe age of like 11 by myself. Nobody made me watch it. Turned it on and I was like, I like this. The music in that movie, amazing. You know, great fucking
Yeah,
actors. It's just
yeah.
if you've never seen that movie, what are you doing with your life? Like you have it's such a cult classic, it's iconic, it's they hinted in almost a lot of TV shows. It's just one of those movies and TV shows in it. That's all you gotta know. That's why you gotta watch it.
No, yeah, for sure. It's kinda funny you're saying that too because it kinda goes with the idea that we watch movies at such a young age, like, too young to really watch these movies,
Mhm.
but they definitely kind of shape our taste.
Yeah, totally. Like I really feel that because, you know, you're a kid, you're probably just watching whatever your family's watching, whatever's on TV or whatever. Or you go to the theater and you're just like, oh yeah, my friends want to watch this movie, whatever. But if you ever just sat down and decided, you know what, I'm gonna watch this movie, I'm gonna check this out, and then it just opens, your world to different genres. I love like a drama movie. I love a horror movie. I love freaking love movies, obviously, but like I
Yeah.
said, I'm always down to just like, I'll be on Netflix, I'll be on, Tubi or whatever, Peacock, and I'll just be going through like, the different lists and trying to find something that is critically acclaimed I haven't seen yet, or something that is just like so B rated, probably so stupid. But I'm gonna watch it and I'm probably gonna love it. It's just a gamble. Honestly, I love it.
Yeah, it's kinda like going to, like, Blockbuster, but, like, virtually.
My gosh, definitely. I was way too young when Blockbuster was happening. I do
Uh,
remember, okay, I remember my parents would
totally
take
missed
us,
out. Totally
and we
missed
would
out.
take us. I was at the ending of it, you know what I mean? I was barely like, maybe like around 5 or 6 or something, but I still remember going with my brothers and sisters, they'd rent out a movie. You're probably around the age of my siblings, honestly. So, they'd be getting movies and, like,
Yeah.
having their friends over, and it was a big thing for them, We'd get the popcorn ready. It was like if we're having a home theater at home.
Yeah.
I remember watching Scream. We borrowed Scream from there. That was, like, my first horror movie I ever saw, actually, and, like, Chucky and stuff like Child's Play and all that stuff, like, a lot of the movies I saw early on were from Blockbuster, literally, so, it was such an event, and I'm just, like, so sad that didn't keep going. Then they had, like, Redbox, right? They tried to come back with that and all that, and then, my family, we also went to the library a lot, and I would just be renting movies from the library also, it's just there's so much, physical media happening and I miss it. That's like such a big part of my childhood, and I really, really miss it. I'm just sad that that was like the ending of my childhood. I didn't really get to live through all of it, but It was
Yeah.
such a great part.
That's crazy. I guess I never thought about that. You really could still keep it going though. If you go to like if you do go to the library and just
Mhm.
do that weekly, it's like you're pretty much it's like Blockbuster.
Exactly.
So let's actually go into your pick. We'll go back and forth on that too. Sound good?
Okay. Yes. Okay. One of the first picks that a lot of people know about me is The
Mhm.
Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler is, I feel like, a lot of people's intro to comedy. He's just that fun-loving guy. Some people hate him. No, no judgment there. I get it. Some of his movies are kind of stupid, but it's kind of like an
Mhm.
entry level of like, haha, comedy. But The Wedding Singer,
Yeah.
I love. Like 80s, he's a wedding singer. Obviously, he wanted to be a rock star. Didn't work out. He's about to get married. Girls like, bye, see you later. And he's
Mhm.
pretty heartbroken. And it's a really hilarious movie you have to watch. And then Drew Barrymore, one of his many movie on-screen wives, is in it, and it's
Yeah.
just a beautiful love story. It's hilarious, and it's just like perfect 80s rom-com, but it's not from the 80s, but it's an 80s based movie. It's just so beautiful. I love that movie. It's so
Oh
hilarious.
yeah. And she's great in it too. I think Drew Barrymore is really good in it. Like she has a good balance cuz she almost gives it a little bit more weight. Like the movie itself, because there's a lot of silly things happening in the movie, but she's a solid actor where you're like, "Oh, cool." Like, it feels leveled out in a way.
Yeah, totally does. Like Adam Sandler just being goofy, and she's just kind of like the girl next door, bringing him back to reality.
Mhm.
And like it's just like so sad. I remember that scene where she's trying on her wedding dress in front of the mirror, and she's just like, Julia Gulia, I'm gonna be Julia Gulia, and it just starts crying, and then she's all, Miss Robbie Hart. That part made me want to name
Yeah.
my first child Robbie Hart. If I ever have a kid, Robbie Hart, name from Wedding Singer. But it's just like
Oh,
a hopeless romantic movie, and I personally, I'm a hopeless romantic. I definitely am, and I love that whole like '80s music thing. Like, come
mhm.
on, it's just like it's such a dorky movie, and that is totally me. I've been told I'm kinda dorky, so I'm like, "You know what? You're kinda right." That's pretty true about that, but yeah, hopeless romantic rom-com, that's my number 1 right there.
My main pick is Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
Um,
classic.
Released in 2004. I'm not gonna go into the cast too much, but I did write this. Napoleon Dynamite is a dry, yet hilarious comedy with characters that explore some mundane issues. The movie feels like it glides on level 5 the whole way, but very much moves. Napoleon Dynamite, Deb, Pedro, LaFonda, Kip, and Uncle Rico all find their people. Life itself can be difficult when you don't have a connection, be it family, friendship, or romantic love. These characters find connections that brighten up their lives, even makes Napoleon a hero to Pedro. In a way, all the characters grow into much happier people at the end. I'm someone who is awkward and can at times live in the past and has a dry sense of humor, doesn't dress cool all the time, or know what to say in most occasions, and values the few connections I make in life. I'm a believer that love, good conversations, and laughs are what make us better and gives us fuel when life hits us hard. So that's kind of why I chose them.
Man, why didn't I pick Napoleon Dynamite? That is such a great movie pick right there. That movie, you know how many times I've heard Tina, you fat lard, because, RocknRollTina. I hear
Yeah.
my brothers after they watch that movie, that's all they would tell me when it was dinner time. Tina, get your dinner, and I'm just like, damn. Like I remember that movie. My brothers brought it home, and I was like, the intro was like very like, whoa, what is this? And it has, Jack
Yeah.
White in the background singing and all that. Yeah, love that movie. It's totally about being a nerd, not giving a fuck.
Mhm.
Is it the 80s? Is it the 90s? Because remember in the auditorium scene, they're like dancing to NSYNC or Backstreet Boys. I forgot. It's like one of them.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I guess, like, the girls before, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Haley Duff's character and her
yeah.
friends.
They're
Shit,
dancing
so
to
yeah, it was
one of those. So I'm like, what era is this? We always fought about it. Me and my friends, my brothers, sisters. What
yeah.
era? I'm gonna have to Google this later, but yeah, it's a mystery. But love that movie. I recommend it to people. If you feel alone, you need a little laugh. Also, another quotable movie.
So, what's your next pick?
My next pick would be Detroit Rock City.
That's a good one.
Yep. So That movie I saw later in high school, was on TV, and I fell in love with the drummer, little blonde boy. So beautiful, love him, my favorite character. You have some really good actors in there, but this movie represents me so much because it's just all about rock and roll and meeting your favorite band and going to that concert that you wanna go to. It is about just being a teenager. It's, like, so raunchy and, like, about drugs and, like, fuck parents, fuck the law, fuck the government, fuck everything. It's just so rebel. And that's a little bit of me. Like I could be a little bit of a rebel. I wasn't the
I can
most
see
stay
that.
at
I can see
home
that.
teenager when I was a teenager. So I was sneaking out. I was sometimes in other random cities and my parents would think I'm like at Becky's house down the street or something. I was always
Yeah.
going to shows and gigs and stuff like that when I was a kid. So I totally feel that. They're so in love with Kiss, and I feel like that about a lot of bands. Just like a
Mhm.
super fangirl. This is a movie for the fans, and that's why I really, really love Detroit Rock City. And also, side note, it's for the ladies, the boys, whoever. Why don't more guys dress like that? Oh my gosh. I've seen so many people comment about that. Like, men have lost their style. They wear this flannel and the band t shirt, jeans and some Converse, long
Yeah.
hair. That's just such a style right there. Like, for a lot of girls, I loved it, or guys, whoever. But I just love this movie. It really piqued my interest of like, this is gonna be the kind of guys I'm gonna be into one day, or just it's like about being a fan. I just love it. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Memo, you gotta get a flannel.
He has many flannels. He doesn't
There
have
you
long
go.
hair. He's bald, but I love him. So you know what? He's a rocker at heart. I love it.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I remember that movie, and, there's a bunch of movies that kind of have that youthfulness to them and have a good way of expressing that youthfulness to them. I think that's a great movie to watch for that. Um, what's funny is I think that you were a lot cooler probably in high school than I was, because that should happen when I was, like, just out of high school, because I was like,
Oh
"Oh,
my gosh.
cool, freedom. Oh my
Oh
god.
my
This is what
gosh.
you do."
Well, my parents were strict. Okay,
Yeah,
and
my
I
my
was
parents were too.
I was I was going out. I was doing things no one should. Mom, dad, for listening to this, do not listen to this. My dad can't listen to this, but my mom can't. No, 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 no. Sisters,
Yeah,
brothers don't listen to this. But yeah, I was sneaking out. I was doing things. I was hanging out. I was so Detroit Rock City. So yeah,
yeah.
you're not you were a nerd in high school.
I wasn't invited to those things. Yes. No, I wasn't. I was like Michael Cera in Superbad. It was very much like, oh yeah, cool, awkward, really into like nerdy shit. I was really into drawing a lot. I was into I was definitely into music, but it wasn't like I had friends who were like, hey, let's go to fucking LA and do all this fun stuff.
I think that makes it cooler. I think it's cooler to be a lone wolf, to do your own thing. Because as you get older, you don't really need like a million friends. You don't have to go where everybody's going and all that stuff. I think I had like my little
Yeah.
group of friends, and now I really, really have like a few really good friends. So you know what?
Yeah.
You were at the beginning of something. You were already living life.
I appreciate you making me feel better, but
No, for real.
so my next pick is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, released in 2004.
Ooh. Oh man.
Why I would show someone this film to show my personality is when I first watched this film, I was going through a breakup myself. I remember thinking while watching Jim Carrey as Joel that I understood this guy on a deep level. I was somewhat shy, sketched all the time, had a hard time with expressing myself and being transparent in relationships. The movie itself is beautiful, creative, emotional, and feels a little lonely, but also has hope at the end for love. It's also very human.
Oh man. That movie will fuck you up. If you've never
Yeah.
seen it, will fuck you up. I've seen it once and that was it. I don't never have to see it again. It just made me so depressed, but it's so real.
Yeah.
If you're sad, it's gonna make you even more sad. So you're brave for watching that while you were heartbroken.
It's like listening to a sad song as like, well, I say it's on the equivalent of listening to a sad song for comfort. You know what I mean? Like you're like, oh
Yeah,
shit, they get it.
definitely. There's a quote in that movie. Oh my god, her name's Clementine, right?
Yeah.
That's like the character's name?
Kate Winslet plays her. Yeah.
Yes, Rose, Titanic, yes. There's a quote she says, if I'm remembering, like, "You don't love me or something, you don't like me, you like, the idea of me," or something like that. I forgot.
Hmm.
There's, like, a quote like that. Love that quote forever, ever, and ever because I've lived that so many times in relationships where they think they love you, you're, like, the perfect girl. It also goes down to, like, pixie dream girl stuff, they
Oh
think
yeah.
you're awesome and all that, but in reality, you might be a little fucked up, you might be a little crazy, you don't even know who you are, all stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's such a real movie. It's totally a movie to, like, you're holding the mirror in front of your face. It's very depressing, but it's a beautiful movie.
That's interesting. That what you just said was pretty interesting as far as so I know my experience with it through Joel's eyes, right? And
Mhm.
you're in a relationship and you do get with someone and you're like, "Oh, this person's perfect. They're so pretty and they're funny, they tell funny jokes. They like movies I like and they don't mind hanging out with me and we talk on the phone." But it's all fairly surface at some points. But you once you get past a certain point, you realize there's so much more obviously to that person. But I
Mhm.
think every time I had been in relationships in the past, I think you kind of go in it the same. You're always like, "Oh, quote unquote pixie dream girl," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
All these kind of things seem so fun and like bubbly and amazing, but then you're like, "Oh, gosh, like it's it's misleading. Your brain is misleading in a
Yeah.
way."
It's all happy rainbows until it's not, but that, uh, architect, that type of girl is in a lot of movies, the pixie dream girl.
Yeah.
But, yeah, some people
Uh,
really go like, "This movie's
Garden
about
State.
my life." Oh my gosh, Garden State. My brother, I think he was so depressed during that time. He would watch that movie all the time. I've
That was a good
only
movie.
seen parts of it. I've only seen parts of it. I need to rewatch the whole thing as an adult. But
Yeah.
those movies always have the pixie dream girl or like Scott Pilgrim, Ramona
Yep.
Flowers, stuff like that. This girl's so hot, so cool, so chill, but she's kind of fucked up. She's not
Yeah.
really like she's kind of toxic. But that's real life. We fall in love with things and then, we see the layers and all that and
Yeah.
sometimes they're your true love, sometimes they're not. But yeah, that movie will fuck you up.
It
What a
would
good choice. You love that movie.
and what's also crazy is that those fucked up things, when you're kinda going into like, you're kind of like, "Oh, this girl has these issues. Ah, that's not a big deal." That makes her more mysterious, but then you
Yeah.
realize like, "Oh, no. No, like, those are real issues." You're like, "Oh,
Mhm.
depression? Ah, she's so mysterious."
No, no. Oh my gosh. I think everyone needs to see that movie. Like, it's you
Yeah.
definitely need to see, like, the different levels of relationships and how they can be and all that stuff, and it's just like would you say it's like a codependent movie? Would you say that?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Totally,
I
right?
think well,
Mhm.
yeah, and I think it pulls the layers back a little bit, and you kinda see the ugly of someone, like, you see, both people, actually. You see the almost every character in that movie is pretty there's a lot of shit there.
Yeah.
You see the ugly of Joel, you see how he is, you see Clementine's ugly because she's kind of a dick, and she's neurotic, there's a lot going on there,
Mhm.
and initially, he's like, "Oh, that's so cool, that's amazing, that's fun." After a while, that shit gets old for him, and he's like, "Ah, later." And she
Oh
gets
my
bored with him. She's just
gosh.
like, "This guy's a boring fucking dude too." So I get that.
Another one that's pretty fucked up, the 500 Days of Summer movie. That one.
Yep, yep.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
If you say that is your favorite movie, no. No, it's not. You like to get hurt. Like, oh my god, I hated Zoe Deschanel so much in that movie, like, beautiful woman.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he posted about, like, 500 Days of Summer, and he was 100% right. He's like, "Yeah, he's not listening. The main character is not listening to what she's saying,
Mhm.
and he's creating these expectations and hoping that she'll change her mind when she right off the bat pretty much says, 'I don't want something serious.'"
Exactly.
And he's like, "No, you're good. I'll kind of woo you enough to make you want something serious."
They're both in the wrong. They're just bad people for each other. Like, it's just never gonna work out.
I disagree just because I don't
Ooh.
think she's in the wrong. I don't think she's in the wrong at
Oh.
all. I
Ooh.
think I think she likes hanging out with him. I think she likes spending time with him, and she likes kissing him. She likes whatever,
You're right,
right?
actually. Yeah.
And that's okay. That's also okay to have that. And she expresses herself at the beginning and says, "This is what this is." She doesn't
Yeah.
like string him along.
You're right about
Um,
that part. You're right about that part. You know, she does tell him plain like, "Hey, I'm not really looking for nothing serious," but he's over here like, "We're gonna fall in love and get married."
yeah,
But, if I remember the movie, they just kinda have this thing going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until there's no more and all that. I think she just didn't know what she wanted. Maybe she should've just, like, been, like, for reals, like, from the beginning, "Get away from me." But then we wouldn't have a movie and all that, but,
yeah.
there was a lot.
And maybe she didn't know she wanted it until she met the other person.
Exactly.
One thing I will say though, that where she was in the wrong was inviting him to her fucking like wedding shower or whatever.
Yeah.
That was such
What
a
the
dick
heck?
move on her end.
Like, what the see, that's what I'm saying, like, they were so wrong in certain points. He was so pushy, wanted to be in love with her. She was, like, the dismissive, running away. They just was never meant to be, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I've also been that guy. I've been him
Oh my
for
god.
sure. In one occasion. Yeah. Where I was
Oh
like,
my
I'm gonna change her mind. I like her enough. It's gonna be enough for both of us. And she's gonna be like, you know what? Let's be in a relationship. Didn't work.
Nope.
Never works,
Don't
people.
do it, fellas. You've heard it here. Don't do it, fellas. Don't chase a girl. Be with
No.
someone who loves you back the same way.
Yeah, and doesn't give you a disclaimer off the bat. That's your
Literally.
biggest clue.
Literally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Now where I'm at now in my relationship, I'm happy. I can't believe where I'm at right now. So I think you've seen me through a lot of things, but
Yeah,
side note, let's not talk about that. But you know what I mean.
yeah,
I feel like one day you'll meet somebody and you're just like, yep, this is my person. And I
yeah.
bet you that's how you felt about your wife. You're just like, yep,
Oh,
there
yeah,
it is. That was it.
and it was odd in the best ways. It was different than anything else in the best ways. So, yeah, um, for sure. So what's your next pick?
My next one is another Steve Buscemi movie. Oh my God. Ghost World. I love Ghost World.
That's a good one.
Like, okay, the reason why I picked it, my personality, the way she dresses is very similar to the way I dress. That whole friendship with Scarlett Johansson, and Enid, it's just their friendship is like something you outgrow when you're in high school and then you become an adult. Feel that, I feel that. But how the main character, she just feels very kind of like a lone wolf again, like just
Mhm.
by herself. She doesn't really give a fuck, she hasn't really matured yet. I loved this movie when I was probably getting out of high school, so it kind of like went with along with my life. Her just befriending an older weird stranger, aka me. I have a lot of older friends. I just get along with older people because I love a lot of older things. It's okay.
Yeah,
Um, she becomes friends with him very, fast and everything, and she's kinda mean to him though in the little parts of it. They fall in love and all that, whatever, but it's just a movie about a girl who's basically, an outcast, a weirdo, and she's not maturing fast enough, and finally one day she just packs up and leaves, and it's just kinda like she moved on to the next chapter of her life? So it's
yeah,
kind of like I feel like a little bit of coming of age movie, but I love this movie because the way she dresses, I really wanted to look like her for such a long time. I totally pull some inspiration from that.
yeah.
Um, she loved weird music. I love some weird music. Like, I don't know, she just seemed like a cool girl, but she was kind of mean, but she just seems like a cool girl. But yeah, this movie was really like a, ooh, I'm so mysterious. I've seen Ghost World. No one's really seen this movie. I'm so punk rock and all that.
Yeah.
No. My brother though, there's a part in the scene where he goes like, what is the line? It's like 1970, it's obviously a 1976 punk rock look or something like that. My brother always makes fun of me. He's like, "Oh my god, look at you in your little leather jacket!" Like, because guys always pick on girls with like your little leather jackets, trying to be all like cool and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those movies. It's a coming of age. If you're a little punk girl, or you're getting into like punk music and riot girl stuff, I recommend Ghost World because you will feel the vibe.
Do you think that's like almost like the other end of the girl that guys are like what in I guess dating in these other movies that we're talking about.
Yeah, the Manic Pixie Dream Girl, she is totally one of those. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because Seymour, Sibushami's character,
Mm,
he falls in love with her because he's like, oh my god, this young, hip, mysterious, kind of mean girl really likes me and wants to hang out with me. We're falling in love. They
mm.
kiss, they make out. Then she's like, this is weird. I gotta run away because you're old and stuff like that. Um, it is. She is a Manic Pixie Dream Girl. She will never settle. Her friend in the movie, Scarlett Johansson's character, she ends up getting a job, settling, getting an apartment, just growing up. And our protagonist over here is just kind of like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't want to do any of that. I just want to keep on being me, and I don't give a fuck, and I don't want to work, and I don't want to grow up and stuff like that. And I think we've all felt that way at a certain point of our lives, where we're just like, oh no,
Yeah.
no, like who cares? But eventually, sadly, we all have to grow up.
Yeah, life kind of makes that decision for you at some point, for sure.
I feel bad for Seymour. He literally was like, wow, finally someone who understands me. And then he starts dating that other lady, and she does
Oh,
him bad.
Blues Hammer?
There you go. Like he finally, oh my God, that bad. Oh my God. No, but he ends up meeting that one lady from the airplane. They
Yeah.
put like an ad in the newspaper. And like it actually was pretty good, like age appropriate. But she seemed like she was really mature, trying
Mhm.
to get him to, get out of his shell and everything. That's cool and all. Sometimes people do need to be with people who will get them out of their shell, or sometimes you just need to be with somebody who's like your same vibe and won't change you.
Heck yeah. The last one I got is Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, from
Oh my God.
1995. You seen that one?
It's been such a long time, but that is so cool. Love that. Love it, love it, love it.
So, the reason is it's a scary movie that doesn't fully take itself seriously. It's fun and somewhat geeky and messy and ridiculous. I don't take myself seriously most times, and I really wanted to add a horror movie to the list because I'm a huge fan of those movies. Also, it being a Tales from the Crypt movie lends itself to so much nostalgia for me.
Love it.
I remember watching this movie, and it's with Jada Pinkett and
Mhm.
Billy Zane, and that movie is so fucking like kids should not be watching that movie, but
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's a fun movie.
Oh my God. I didn't know you were gonna pull that one out. That is so great. Oh my gosh. I remember. But it's been so long. I would never have thought of you as that guy to pick that movie.
Oh no, I'm a huge horror fan. I have a werewolf T-shirt on right now, but I forgot where I think I seen that movie in the theater too, so that's even kind of weirder. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check out Demon Knight.
I love that. Yeah, horror movies that are like not so like they're scary, but there's comedy to it
Yeah,
is always gonna win my heart. I don't know if you've seen Frankenhooker, but that one,
fairly recently, like this year.
yo,
Yeah,
you have? Oh my, what
yeah.
did you think of it?
It was not what I expected at all, but it was so good.
It's entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. A lot of nudity,
Yeah.
way more more than I
Oh yeah.
expected.
When I show people this movie, I always tell them, okay, you're about to watch a 1980s porno about
Yeah,
a
pretty
Frankenstein
much.
hooker, okay? But it's a
Yeah,
really sick movie. Either you love it or you're absolutely disgusted and you hate it. But
yeah,
yeah, kids don't watch this movie. Wait till a bit older. Adults enjoy it because oh my
yeah,
god, it is just whoever thought of that movie who said, you know what, this would be great. I love it. It's such a another cult classic of like the horror genre. I think it's one of those like B-list movies, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
whenever someone brings that up or I see a girl on Halloween post her like in a little Frankenhooker outfit, I'm just like, yes, this person gets it. I once had purple hair and I had the little Betty bangs, and my brother was like, you should be Frankenhooker for Halloween. I did not do it and I lost it. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think about it. I was like, oh yeah, yeah, I forgot about it. But yeah, such a good movie.
Still time, still time.
I know, you're right. I guess I just dyed my hair back to purple, get a wig, I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah,
that movie, yeah. I love horror movies that are either really scary or just so stupid, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Yeah, I recently saw Reanimator. I
Oh,
didn't
me
love it.
too, me too.
Really? Oh my god, we're
Yeah,
watching the same things. I did
yeah.
not love it. It's pretty good, but I didn't love it.
Wasn't it, again, like, different than you had expected? Like, I've
Yeah,
always seen people post about or talk about Reanimator, and I didn't really I had a vision of what that movie was, and then
same.
watching it, I was like, "Oh, it's alright. It's pretty cool, but,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, people hype it up to being, like, one of the best movies of, like, horror movies of that era, and stuff like that.
yeah,
Finally saw it, me and my boyfriend were just kinda like, "Oh, oh, oh, okay. Alright, that's enough. Let's just finish it. Okay, the end.
yeah,
Alright." Didn't love it, but I can see why it's a favorite for people.
for sure, for sure. So what else you got? Those are all my picks, so let's go with yours.
Okay, I got a few more, and I'll probably do a wrap up of, like, the last 3 together, but the next one is one true to my heart, and it's because I get, uh, complimented that, "Oh my god, that's you. Oh my god, totally you," or Rock and Roll High School, the main
Mhm.
character, Riff Randall. I've been told throughout my whole life that I'm totally Riff Randall, but in real life, and I'm just like, "That is so rad that people think of that," because, oh my god, I saw that movie middle school for me. Again, it was on TV, and I said, "Oh, Ramones. I like the Ramones. Let me watch this movie." It is just such a musical movie of rock and roll and everything. It is so me. Again, another inspiration of who I wanted to be. Riff
Mhm.
Randall's so cool. She's just like a fangirl, super fangirl, aka me, super fangirl. She would do anything for the Ramones, and I just love that movie, the music, everything, all about it. 100% me. The way she carries herself is so rad. She doesn't give a fuck, and like, I don't know, she's just a rad girl. She's so rad. And I feel like a lot of the guys love her, but they can't touch her because she's like, no, reserved for the Ramones. So
Yeah.
I think Riff Randall's a badass, and this is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Nice, that's a good pick.
And then
Uh,
my last picks, I'm gonna put them together, is kind of the horror ish. We
mhm.
got Rocky Horror Picture Show. That
Mm,
movie I saw in high school at 2 a.m. It was on TV on demand, and I was like, I've always heard about Rocky Horror Picture Show. What is this?
yeah,
Watched it, felt like it was kind of a little bit of a gay awakening, for a lot of people. So I was like,
yeah.
this is so nuts and cool. And I know that guy. Is that Tim Curry? Holy shit. This movie rocks. The music, oh, dude, my favorite character in Rocky Horror Picture Show is Meatloaf's character, Eddie. That is the
Yeah,
best song in that movie, you know? So that really shows me because I, again, love outcasted, weirdo, kind of campy stuff. That is totally me. It
yeah.
really spoke to me at a young age of like, I could be weird and this is cool. And there's going to be a group of people who love this movie. And there is, because they do like Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff like in theaters or they recreate that. I've never been to one. I still need to go to
I
one actually.
I still wanna go too as well.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I people tell me all the time it's like an experience, and I've never been. I've always wanted to. But one thing that's really cool that's happened for me is actually met Tim Curry last year in
Oh, yeah.
Monsterpalooza.
I saw your
So,
pictures. Yeah.
so rad, so rad. I wish I could have spoke to him. We can't we have, he's older now. He's how he is now and all that stuff in the wheelchair and everything. So sad,
Mhm.
but I was shaking in line. I was literally shaking in my boots, and my boyfriend Memo was just like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna meet Tim Curry right now. Oh my god." It was really fast though. You couldn't really speak to him. I just went, "I love you," and ran away. I was like, "I love you. Okay, bye," and snap a picture and all that. But I have it hung up right here in my room. Beautiful, love it. So yeah, one of the best movies ever. Totally shows who I am.
Really quick, Rocky Horror Picture Show, I didn't really get it when I first watched it when I was, like, in high school, and then I became an adult, and after a while watching it, I really enjoyed it.
I remember reading about it that this is one of those official like LGBT movies that was like popped up in the popularity in that time, and people were shocked by it. I really feel like it's one of the first like LGBT movies to really like skyrocket into like the mainstream media. I think
Yeah.
it's an important part of history, honestly, in all movies.
Yeah, I definitely an important picture to watch, and in general in history. Yeah, I agree. And what is your last pick?
My last movie, which I can't believe I almost forgot because I literally have a little keychain on my keys. One of my favorite horror movies of all time is The Shining. That one,
Great
oh
movie.
my god. That one is a fucked me up as a kid. I saw it as a kid, not a teenager, not as a kid, okay?
Yeah.
The scene that will be with me forever is the bathtub scene with the old lady.
Oh man, that's a great
Disgusting.
scene.
I love it. This movie is important to my personality because it was one of my intros to horror movie, like real horror, psychological, spooky, long, like, oh my God. And Stephen King, about, his books and stuff. Huge
Mhm.
Stephen King fan over here, by the way. But really captured me and it made me realize I love horror movies. I want to watch more horror movies. I want to watch the more that make me uncomfortable and scared at night. Like I love this
Yeah,
feeling. This is such a great story. It is so spooky and The Shining is one of the best movies of all time because we see it in TV all the time. Like, The Simpsons made fun
yeah.
of it. Like there's so many things about it. Um yeah, so I love The Shining. A little fact right here. I went to Horror Nights when they had the Shining house. I don't know if you've ever been when that happened,
Yeah, I
but
have.
we got stuck in the part of the shower scene with the old lady. That's the part where the line got jammed. My butt was hollering. I was screaming. I was crying. I never get scared at Horror Nights. Okay, I love Horror Nights. I never get
Yeah,
freaked out.
same
But
here.
I had my face in my brother's chest like this because the old lady was on me. And we got stuck there for like 15 minutes. She just kept coming at me. So I feel like that was kind of a poke at life, like, haha, you were scared as a kid, so now you're gonna have to relive it. Face my fears. Great. But yeah, love The Shining. The Shining, I feel like is one of the best movies of all time,
Yeah.
honestly.
Also has a lot of layers to it.
Oh, definitely.
When I watched that movie the first time, it was such a face value kind of watch, and you're like, "Oh, watching the story, ghosts, guy goes crazy." But then when you're older, I mean, when I was older, then I kind of watched and I'm like, "Oh, this guy was an alcoholic. He
Mhm.
beat his kid when he was younger at some point, when the kid was younger, and he's trying to be better, but he's also there's still a lot of that
Yeah.
abusive kind of behavior in him." And it gets pretty deep when you think about it.
Yeah.
So the ending, how do you interpret the ending? I think we discussed this in like a previous podcast, but my take really quick was that the house consumed him,
Yeah.
and that's why he's in that picture at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe he just became part of the ghosts. The demons took him into this world and now he's stuck there forever.
Yeah.
And it was, like, one of the scariest endings of any horror movie because you're like, "Oh, it ended, they're free, blah, blah, blah." And that zoom in to the photo,
Hmm.
it's just so spooky, and he's smiling, he's having a great time, but he's part of the ghost. Like, that is so scary, he never got out alive, like, terrifying, his inner
Yeah.
demons got him. That's how deep it was. His inner demons got him. Crazy.
I recently thought of like another take on it, and it was kind of like maybe those times where he's talking or he's in the bar for the most part
Mhm.
are time skips. Like maybe
Oh,
it's after all of it happened. Like the story that
yeah.
you see with Tia and the kid or he and the wife, right, are pretty
Mhm.
much linear. But everything else in the bar is like after the fact, after he's dead, after he's a ghost. And that's when he's talking to the other ghosts. And it's
Oh,
just
man.
kind of like like going through almost a time loop, but but actually being a part of those ghosts too. I don't know.
I never thought of it that way. That is so crazy. It's spooky.
So I think that's our time. So did you have anything else you want to throw in there really quick?
Want to say if you guys have never seen any of these movies that we're talking about, definitely check them out. If you love anything like that are deep that we talked about, anything like rock and roll filled or like being a groupie, being an outcast and all that, definitely watch them. There's some really good picks in there. I want to thank Jose for letting me on this show. It's so cool. Finally got to be on the show. Loved it.
Yeah, we were gonna have RocknRollTina on earlier, a few episodes ago, but it's just more scheduling stuff. But I'm happy that you're here this time.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, so that has been our episode. Christina, thanks for joining me on this journey. Would you like to plug anything or give any shout outs?
Let's see. Everyone go listen to Wearway. That's my boyfriend's band. They're a great band if you like hardcore, if you like metal, you love all that stuff, listen to it. Awesome, awesome. Find them on Spotify or Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at RocknRollTina, find me on TikTok. You can find my YouTube channel, Diversified Arts. I have some really cool old interviews of bands on there. Yeah, you guys go find me everywhere on social media. Just RocknRollTina, and you'll see all my content, my spooky stuff. I make like day-to-day live videos and stuff like that. I might be starting a podcast soon, so keep in mind on that. But yeah,
Nice, nice. So, thank you to our online community for taking the time to answer the questions on the best.most.pod Instagram page. Every answer adds to the conversations on the show. Thank you to you, the listener, for listening. To further support the show, you can share it with a friend. Like, comment, rate, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. It's all appreciated. And remember, there are no guilty pleasures when it comes to music, movies, and all art preferences. Love what you love and enjoy what you enjoy. That connection is such a gift. And until the next time, take care and take care of each other. Bye bye.
see ya.